ఏమైంది చెప్పు.
Good afternoon, all. I hope all have joined now, or maximum students have joined. Okay, so we will start with our lecture. In the last lecture, though the heading of this lecture, actually by mistakenly I scheduled this in the morning at the time of batch 1 practicals. So that's why the name I have given is as friend function, but we have started with the constructor. I hope all of you are aware about it. And in the last lecture, we have seen the program on fixed deposit, constructors with fixed deposit program. Yes?
Yes, but ma'am, your voice is low.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, ma'am.
So now we will be seeing. Now we have seen constructor with no arguments. We have seen constructor with multiple arguments. I told you that constructor with no arguments is called as a null constructor. Constructor with multiple arguments is called as parameterized constructor. And there is one more type of constructor you have that is called as a copy constructor. So we are going to study about this copy constructor now. Let me know if the screen is visible to you. I hope that fixed deposit program clear to everyone. Yes, students. Yesterday, the one fixed deposit program which we have seen, that is clear to everyone.
Yes, ma'am, it's clear. And the screen is visible.
Yes, sweetie, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Is the screen visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, so let's start with this copy constructor. So let us understand first. Like the other two types of constructors we have seen, we have one more type of constructor that is called as a copy constructor. Now we'll see how we will be using this copy constructor. Now, whenever you wanted to copy a value of one constructor into another constructor, we will be making use of this copy constructor. So actually, this constructor, a copy constructor, is actually used to declare and initialize an object from another object. So that is, you are copying. Actually, you are not copying a constructor. You are copying an object. You are copying the values of one object to the. You are copying it to the another object. Okay. So that is the use of your copy constructor, because we know that. Just a minute. So what I said about the copy constructor, whenever we wanted to see, actually why we are using a constructor to initialize the values of the variable when you create the object, right? So whenever we assign one value to a variable of a particular object, if that object a value, when we wanted to copy it into another object, that time we can make use of this copy constructor. Okay, so just see this program now, then I think it will be clear to you. So in this program you can see that we have a class code in which we have one integer variable id. Now see, now what is this code? What is this? Yes, student?
Null constructor.
Null constructor. First of all, we have created one null constructor. Then we have constructor with one parameter. Okay, where you are writing one variable and you are assigning that variable. You are passing one parameter, and that parameter you are assigning it to your variable. Okay. Now after that, we have this code, another constructor. Now for your copy constructor, whenever you are whenever you are creating a copy constructor, what I said, actually what we are doing, we are copying a value of one object into the another object, or we wanted to copy one object into the other object. So to do that, we have to give the address of that particular object. What we need to do, we need to give the address of that particular object. That's why whenever you are creating a copy constructor, in copy constructor you will pass parameter as another object, and you can see here I have written ampersand. Ampersand, what is the meaning of ampersand? If you remember in C, you might have learned that ampersand is always used to give the address of the variable. Yes or no? Yes or no, students?
Yes.
So it is used to know where exactly that variable is stored, the location, at what location that variable is stored. So that address, if you wanted to get, you will be using this ampersand sign. So what I have written inside the bracket, I have written code ampersand x. Code is what? My class name. So if I am writing a class name followed by x, what this x will be? What this x will be? Variable or object?
Object.
Yes, x will be your object. So what you are passing? You are passing the address of that particular object. Okay, and that address of the object should be assigned to what? Your variable id. So id will be equal to x dot id. Okay, and then in display method you are just displaying that id, value of id. Okay, now in main you can see that now here I am calling constructor with one parameter a, code a. I am creating a object with one parameter. I have created one object with, I have created first object with one parameter. So what it will call? It will call the constructor with one parameter. So which constructor will get called? First constructor, second constructor, or third constructor will get called? For this
First
one,
one.
which constructor will get called?
First one.
This is, if this is the first one, first constructor. This is the second constructor. And this is the third constructor.
Second one.
Second constructor will get called.
Yes.
Okay. So second constructor will get called and A will get that value 100. And that 100 value will be assigned to your ID. So what will be the value of ID? 100 now. Okay. Then see, this is what we are calling a copy constructor. This statement is used to call the copy constructor. What I have done, if suppose I have not written this A, if I have written only this A, what do you mean by this?
It will call the null constructor.
It will call the null constructor, but what it is actually, we are just creating object. If I am writing code B is just an object. But in that code B, what I wanted to do, I wanted to copy the value of object A. What is my A? A I have already created above. What is this A? Is the object. So I am passing object as a parameter to this object. Are you getting? I am passing this A as a object, A object as a parameter to this object B. So what is your A? A is see. A is also object and B is also an object. So what when you are writing the statement like this, B in a bracket A, it means that you wanted to copy the value of object A into object B. Understood? It is defining that object B and also it is copying the value of object A into object B. Are you getting, students?
Yes.
So this is what called as you are calling a copy constructor. Then there is one more way to call your copy constructor. You can write it like this also. Code C is equal to A. Now for C also I am not pass any parameter. So which constructor will get called? Your null constructor will get called. But the value of that C will be assigned. The value of C will have the C object will have the value of A because I have written C is equal to A. So A may whatever the values you have, that same values you will be assigned to code C. Okay. Similarly here, now when you are creating code D, this object when you are creating, which constructor will get called? Null constructor will get. Okay. And then when you are writing D is equal to A, the values of A will get copied to D. Understood? Now for
Yes.
example, suppose I am commenting all these statements. A comment kiya, A B commenting this. And we will just display this one. So what this will do? This will create object A and it will assign that value of 100 to it, and when we are calling id of A, that value will get printed. So if I'll run this, see I am getting id of A is 100. Why I got 100? Because it will come here, A will get that value 100 and id will be assigned with that value 100. That's why we are getting that output. Now suppose I have removed this comment, code B of A, and then now I wanted to check value of id of B. Just see. Can you see B also got the id as 100? Yes, students.
Yes.
Now why it got that value as 100? Because see, when you are calling b.display, it will see when you have created that object b, what was the value of id? Because display में हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? id का value display कर रहे हैं. So when your object b got created, what you did? You copied the value of a. So what was the value of a? 100. So the same value got copied to b. Same thing now when I am removing this code C and code D, that same values will be there. This is because I have given 100 over here. Suppose यहाँ पे मैंने अभी 500 दिया. So all will get that value 500. Got it? Understood everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
What about the others? Yes, everyone understood this program?
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Yes.
Now we'll see dynamic constructors also. All of you please just take a screenshot of this program.
Ma'am, can you scroll down?
Done?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's move to the next program, that is dynamic constructors. Now dynamic constructors क्या होगा? You see, constructors can also be used to allocate memory while we are creating an object. Okay? So this will enable system to allocate right amount of memory for each object when the objects are not of the same size. Okay, so allocating memory to an object at the time of their construction is what called as your dynamic construction of object. So the memory is allocated with the help of a new operator that we will see how to use a new operator that we will see in this example. Now what is this dynamic मतलब क्या? At runtime whatever the values we provide. Okay. So we will see how dynamically we can create a constructor or we can construct the objects. Can I remove this program? Yes, students?
Yes.
Now I'll be doing one string program. So we need to add where I will another constructor I have with one parameter where length I am is equal to and we wanted to have one more method void display. Find one more method. In the two names we have the join method to which we are passing two objects string your class. Is equal to new is then 38. Now close this. To which you are passing a value as object. First, passing name. One dot join name one comma name two. Now we have display. The name 2 and name 3 we will display afterwards. Okay, so first understand this much of the code and then we will do the remaining one. Here I have to type string. Let me just check with this error. So I'll let you know.
Okay.
Let me just try with this. The problem is only with that string keyword which we have used, because string is already there as a creating a problem. So actually in this program, what we are, just understand the program, what we are trying to do, we are asking user to enter the string, and whatever the string the user will enter, we are trying to, at runtime we will try to join it by using this join function. Now we are getting a little bit of output. See here now what is done in this program. Now we have created a class string. Now as I have given it as capital because we are not using inbuilt keyword string. And I have declared one character variable, that is name, which is a pointer variable, right? Then you have int length and now what we need to do, then one length variable is declared which is of type integer. Now we are creating one constructor string constructor with no arguments, where we are initializing that length is equal to 0 and name जो character name declare किया है ना, that we are reinitializing it with the new keyword. यहाँ पे new is a inbuilt keyword. Whenever we want to dynamically allocate the new memory, that time we will be using this keyword new. अभी हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, ये new character array बना रहे हैं which will be of the size length plus 1. Are you getting, students? ये हम लोग dynamically, like depending upon what name the user will enter. Suppose the user is entering the name as Archana. So how many characters are there in Archana? I have to calculate that. And according to that, now you know that the character array always have one extra space for adding the null string at the end. That is /0 at the end. So that's why it is creating that character array of size length plus 1. Clear, everyone? Clear till this part, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Then after that, next thing that we have is what? We have taken one another string constructor which is taking one parameter, one character parameter. So we are passing string character pointer s. So length of the string, length of that string means here what we are passing, we are passing one character string as a parameter to this constructor. So whatever the parameter that we will pass, we will check the length of it by using str length function, right? And to that string again we will allocate the new memory by using name is equal to new character length, new character of length plus 1, and then that we are copying the new. See यहाँ पे जो s में हम लोगों ने जो parameter pass करेंगे, like suppose now I am passing the parameter as some other name, like suppose xyz. Already I might have passed something, so I want that और अभी जो मैं पास कर रही हूँ, एक कैरेक्टर जो भी पास कर रही हूँ और कैरेक्टर अरे जो पास कर रही हूँ, that should get copied to my name variable. So for that I am using this strcpy function, which is str copy, string copy, and what you are doing, whatever you have in s, that you are copying it to name. Okay, okay student.
Okay, ma'am.
Then in display you are just displaying that name. Okay, now here you just see that what I am doing, I have created one method called as join, and to that method again what I am passing address of the object. What I am passing two string objects, and I am passing their address. So I have written string ampersand a comma string ampersand b. Now we have to define it outside the class. So I am writing void string scope resolution join ampersand a comma string ampersand b. So this new string which we are passing, that should be of length what? A dot length plus B dot length. ये जो two strings आपने pass किया है join function में. Join में what you wanted to do? You wanted to join that two strings like first name and last name. You will enter string 1 में आपने जो first name लिया, string 2 में आपने last name लिया. Then you wanted to join that first name and last name to get the full name of the user. So what you need to do? You need to calculate the length of both the strings. So for that you are writing length is equal to a dot length plus b dot length. Okay. And already whatever you have in name, now you are deleting that, and again you are creating a new name array of size length plus 1. And whatever you have in a dot name, that you are copying it to the name plus and then with that name what you are concatenating. See, this is for copying. A dot name में अभी जो भी नया name रहेगा, that you are copying it to name. Once you have copied that to name, that you are concatenating it with b dot name. So b dot name में जो दूसरा नाम रहेगा, my last name will be there. That too I am concatenating with each other. So just see this example now in main. What I am doing, I have character pointer first. This variable I have declared and I have assigned its value. I have given the value as Joseph. Okay. Then after that I am creating object. String का I am creating object name 1 to which I have passed this first as the parameter. मतलब यहाँ पे मैंने क्या पास किया? First क्या है हमारा? एक variable है. So we have passed one parameter. So which constructor will get invoked? This constructor will get invoked. Yes, student.
Yes.
And what has happened now? ये first में तुमने क्या value store किया है? Joseph. So that value will be there in Joseph. Yes or no? First is having that value Joseph, which will be given to this ampersand s. Now we are calculating the str length of s. मतलब किसका length देगा? Joseph का length देगा. It will give you the length of Joseph.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the length of the Joseph? 6. Okay. Now what you are doing? You are creating new name is equal to new character array. Now you are creating new name character array which will be of length plus 1. So what will be its size? 6 plus 1. It will be of size 7. And then what you are doing? strcpy name comma s. तो s में अभी क्या था हमारा? S में what we had? Joseph. So that Joseph will get copied where? In the Joseph will get copied in name. Understood? अंडरस्टूड
Yes,
स्टूडेंट?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
नाउ वी हैव अनदर ऑब्जेक्ट. नेम 2 हमारा क्या है? सेकंड ऑब्जेक्ट है. नेम 1 हमारा फर्स्ट ऑब्जेक्ट है स्ट्रिंग का. सी दिस स्ट्रिंग इज अ क्लास नेम. So name 1 is our first object, name 2 is our second object. Now name 2 में we have not passed any other variable, we have directly passed the value. So name 2 में क्या value pass किया हम लोगों ने? Louis. We have passed one string value. Yes or no? We have passed one string value. So again this will get called. It will check the length of Louis. It will create the array of that. And now already अभी name में तुम्हारा क्या था? Joseph था. Now the new name is what? Louis. So that will be there. Same thing for name 3. Then S1 and S2 are also objects of your class. So what you are doing with S1? We are calling S1.join name 1 comma name 2. So here what will happen now? See now here actually when you are calling this name 2 with this value will be given to any of your constructor. Now what happens when I am calling S1.join name 1 comma name 2 means I have passed two objects. Name 1 में already I have value जोसेफ. नेम 2 में क्या वैल्यू है मेरा? लुइस. तो वो दोनों को ज्वाइन करना है यहाँ से. सो योर दिस ज्वाइन फंक्शन विल गेट कॉल एंड द वैल्यूज विल बी असाइन. अंडरस्टूड? So when you are writing name 1 dot display, you are getting only Joseph because first में क्या है? Joseph, and name 1 is taking that argument only. That's why it is displaying Joseph. See, you got name is equal to Joseph. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I will add the remaining code. Same way we will write name 2 dot display, name 3 dot display. Name 1, here you do name 2 and here you do name 3. And then S1 dot display. So name 2 में क्या नाम है तुम्हारा? वो that will get called. So like that one by one each one of the method will get called. So now when I will run this, see what I am getting. First of all I am getting the name as Louis. Then I am getting the name as Smith. Sorry. First I am getting the name as Joseph. Then I am getting the name as Louis and then I am getting the name as Smith. अभी देखो why you got this Joseph Louis, why you got this Joseph and Louis, because you are calling S1 dot display. ये S1 क्या करेगा? और before that you have, sorry, this is because you have called S1 dot join. S1 dot join तुम लोग क्या कॉल करोगे तो ये मेथड कॉल होगा, राइट? एंड उसमें S1 dot join में द फर्स्ट पैरामीटर क्या है तुम्हारा? name 1. सो name 1 में क्या है? जोसेफ. name 2 में क्या है तुम्हारा? लुइस. तो इसके लिए यू आर गेटिंग दैट जोसेफ लुइस. व्हेन यू आर कॉलिंग S2 डॉट जॉइन तभी क्या ले रहा है? वो S1 ले रहा है. तो S1 में व्हाट यू हैव इन S1 ऑब्जेक्ट? S1 ऑब्जेक्ट विल गिव अ कॉल टू दिस वन. तो S1 में अभी कुछ नहीं है. And what you are writing S2 dot join S1 comma name 3. तो name 3 में what we have? Smith. And ये name 1 में already we have got this S1 में अभी हम लोग को क्या मिला? Joseph Louis मिला. So you are getting Joseph Louis Smith. Understood everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
So copy this program and then you can leave.
Okay.
You have to add this header file also, string.h. If any one of you, if you have not understood, you ask me next in the next lecture. Again, I'll explain you this code. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes.
Have you copied the program?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all of you can leave now then. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.